Hey FSL leaders, this quick video tutorial is going to show you how your organization's members can log an impact in BlazerPulse, which essentially allows your organization to track volunteer hours. First, direct your members to BlazerPulse, uab.edu/BlazerPulse. They're going to want to ensure that they log in here. It's not always obvious to do that. Once logged in, they'll see this screen and they'll access their profile. When you go into your profile, go to your dashboard. From here, you're going to see any memberships that you are associated to. Because BlazerPulse is a sister organization to Engage, each night the Engage roster for your student organization pulls directly into BlazerPulse. So for example, because I'm on the Serve 205 Engage roster, I see it listed here in my memberships. This means you need to make sure all members are active and engaged to ensure that they can log their impact in BlazerPulse. Once you find the organization you want to share an impact with, you can click on the organization name. And then you should see a button that says Add Impact. Instruct your members to click Add Impact. And then it's going to ask, where did you volunteer? You can drop down here, and if any of the organization events you're currently hosting exist, they're going to be able to pick from those. In most cases, you're going to need to use the change button. So go ahead and click change. Now it's going to ask you where you created the impact. So for example, if I went to Birmingham Botanical Gardens, I could search for that. And it's going to pop up. If I click Birmingham Botanical Gardens, it is going to send them an email to verify my service. I recommend for your student organization to not do that. When you click change, instead use can't find it. Type in the place, even if it is Birmingham Botanical Gardens or somewhere that exists, type it in, and then down here, list a student organization leader to be the verifier. So for example, if you have a community service chair, instruct your members to list that individual as the verifier. So since we're ready to put in our impact, we would type in where we had our impact, the city, state, and so this enables your members, let's say over winter break or spring break, if they do service outside of the Birmingham area, to indicate that. If it's for a course, this would be a service learning course the student is enrolled in. They could put yes and share their impact. That would send it to their instructor. If they click yes, but their course doesn't show up, that means it's not associated to BlazerPulse, and they can just select no. Again, this is where they should list the leader in your organization that's going to verify they served. They can list the start and end date of service, the number of hours that they served. If they only served at UAB, so an example would be if you helped during new student move-in. Well, that's not true community service. That's helping our campus community, but it's not helping the Birmingham community. So you would want to click, yes, this only benefited UAB. I encourage you to educate your members on what community service truly is. That's mutually beneficial engagement between UAB and our external community. And that's the type of service we'd really encourage you to do. If you do real community service, you'd leave this unchecked. And then this is really important for the student that's going to be verifying. So for whoever that community service chairman is, you want to ask each member to leave a reflection here. This is where they can share what they did, how long they were there, what they learned, or any other specific questions you or the FSL community has about their service experience. So make sure you make this required, even though it's not technically required on BlazerPulse. There's some other optional things they can do, and then you can add other organizations. So you see, I have automatically added the Blazer Spirit Council to my group. That's a group I always want to share it with. You'll always share your impact with UAB, but if I wanted to add it to another group, let's say I am a UAB ambassador and they have a service requirement and I want them to know I did this same community service, I could go down and find the UAB ambassadors and share it with them as well. And so a student can log an impact once and share it with multiple student organizations if they need to. But remember, you are the one that's going to be verifying that, your organization. Then you click Add Impact. Now that you know how your members can log an impact, as a student organization, you need to know how you can manage those impacts. So much like the way that you instruct your members to log one, you're going to want to go to your dashboard. and find the organization you manage. So again, I'm going to use Serve 205 as an example. I should have management access to track the impacts for my volunteers. And so in order to do that, I'm going to need this blue Manage button. If you do not see the blue Manage button, you can either reach out to Stacy and she'll help you get that set up, or you could reach out to whoever the student is. So this is likely your primary administrator on Engage, and ask them to make you an admin. I'll show you how they can make you an admin. So they'll go to Manage, Manage Users. The list of users for your organization will populate. And so, for example, if I wanted to make Alex Varghese an admin, I would simply come over, drop down to Make Admin. That's going to give Alex full access to this organization's account. From there, once you have access, and you will see that blue button that I referenced, we'll go back to the page. So if you have access, you'll see this blue button. You're going to click Manage and Manage Impacts. Again, the impacts are where you're collecting that volunteer service information. Here, it's going to load for a moment, and then you'll be able to see individual students who logged an impact with your organization. You'll be able to see the date, how many hours, and if it's verified or not. If you're the community service chairman and are responsible for verifying, you can just simply click Pending. And you'll see I have a couple of pending here. I would come over to Actions, do View Details. I could read their details here. You can see that they did not leave a reflection, so I'm going to really have to do my homework to make sure that this is accurate. And then I could come up and click Verify. Once you verify it, it's going to then show up on that list of impacts that we were just referencing. And so we're going to go back here just so that we can see that. So we can see it's verified. If you have enough information here, you can verify it without opening it. You can also configure your layout so that you could see more information. And so there's lots of different things you could see here. Click what works for you. It will save whatever you click so that each time you log in, you won't have to add that. You can search by a specific person's name. Make sure to clear it out. So let's say if I wanted to search by Sydney. You can see I misspelled it, so you got to be careful there. Now I can see Sydney's impacts, and so I can see she's served a total of 6 hours. So that means that maybe she has met our volunteer requirement. You can set a number of hours and easily search that way. You can also search by date if you want to look for each month, for example. Lots of options, as well as exporting this to an Excel spreadsheet if you prefer to look at it in an Excel format. By your organization uploading it here, it will automatically share with the Fraternity and Sorority Life group, which Stacy will oversee to ensure that your organizations are on track with your community service requirements. If you have any questions about how to use BlazerPulse, do not hesitate to reach out to Lauren Cotant. I serve personally as the administrator of BlazerPulse. I'll be happy to help. Stacy is going to be another great resource for you as we are getting the FSL community really in tune with using this great resource. Thanks for your time.